With a look at Super Tuesday, this is, well, like it sounds, it's a huge day for the Democrat Party primary. And to make sense of it all is our friend, Miles Kristen, coming to us from Madison, Wisconsin. Miles, for those of us north of the border, explain Super Tuesday.
So basically, more than a dozen states around the United States, places like California, Texas, North Carolina, are all having their primary in the Democratic race today. And today may greatly affect who will be the nominee of the Democratic Party. But at the same time, 2016 proved us that primaries don't matter and that the party itself can pick a candidate. So there might end up being what's called a broker's convention, but chances are that today is very likely going to determine who the candidate is going to be for the election.
So Super Tuesday isn't necessarily super because, of course, anything can happen if it's a brokered convention down the road, meaning even somebody like a Hillary Clinton or a Michelle Obama could still show up and say, here I am, you don't want Bernie. So yesterday we had Amy Klobuchar gone, she's out, and Pete Buttigieg, Mayor Pete, former mayor of in Indiana.
Yeah, they both cashed in their chips. They basically, I don't know if they got promised the VP ticket or not. But I mean, they're definitely both Klobuchar and Buttigieg are probably in the runnings up to be the VP candidate. I assume Buttigieg will be the VP candidate, and Klobuchar probably is hoping for Secretary of State or something like that.
And in fact, Republicans, this is the weird part from a Canadian's vantage point. If you're a Republican, you can still sign up and vote. And you have open primaries as well, right? So I know that some of them could, for instance, cast a ballot for their choice of Democrat?
Depending on the state. Some states have it set up differently, or you can only vote for one party, so you wouldn't be able to say vote for an assembly race and then a Democrat in a different race. It depends on the state. But I mean, this is crazy. We're down to 5 people, right? We got Bloomberg, Biden, Warren, Bernie Sanders, Tulsi.
Wow, Tulsi's still in there. Amazing. It's amazing how she is hung in. I mean, she's got no delegates.
She's the best candidate of all of them.
I know.
She's getting the least amount of coverage. People don't even know that she's running, probably. And the crazy thing, too, and I'll add it real quick, is that there might only be 5 people still running. There's going to be more than 5 names on the ballot. So you will have people today in all of these dozen states going and voting for people who aren't even running anymore.
Anyway, so the biggest, the states, I guess, that really matter, California, right, Texas, North Carolina, there's 11 other states and 1 territory voting as well. Polls closing at 7 p.m. Eastern in Vermont, Virginia, parts of Alabama. And I guess who's got the delegate? I guess Bernie has the bulk of the delegates up to this point, right? He won, was it New Hampshire? He won...
I'm not sure if he won New Hampshire, but I guess he won South Carolina.
No, I thought that was Biden. I think Biden won.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Biden won South Carolina,
right.
Yes.
And there was Iowa as well. I forget. I think Mayor Pete won Iowa, but really this is the day. They kind of
went back and forth on that one.
Yeah, so it went anyway. So Biden, I understand, is favored, and I think there's some Republicans who want to see a battle between Trump and Sanders. In other words, a battle of polar opposites here. If you want the free marketer, the capitalist, you're going to get Trump. But if you want communism, well, there's your guy. There's nothing in the middle here. There's no kind of wishy-washy socialist type. You're pretty much going to get the furthest left imaginable in the United States. So they want this kind of clear choice between capitalism or communism. Isn't that
as a free market libertarian, many would argue how
Trump,
free market Trump really is and so forth. Is he a little bit of a crony, whatever? But it's so insane. I mean, you see Buttigieg and Klobuchar getting behind Biden, and it's just basically the DNC is clamping down, and it's crazy to think, like, first it looked like, oh, maybe it's going to be Biden, and then you had 28 candidates, and now we're down to 5, and the party is definitely, saying, no, we're going with Biden, when Biden is a terrible candidate between all the things he used to when he would smell women and all the stories about his son, and now stories about his brother possibly being corrupt too. And Bloomberg, it's almost as if Bloomberg was just there to scare the heck out of all the Democrats, and Bloomberg is essentially like if we were to have another Bush administration,
Yeah, meaning another warmonger. And, okay, so Trump, meanwhile, is sitting back and mocking Biden relentlessly, saying, some of the things that have come out of Biden's mouth are just stunning, like saying that he was running for the Senate, like saying that 150 million Americans had been killed, been shot dead since 2007. just insane things. Then talking about Super Thursday instead of Super Tuesday. So these things have just dribbled out of his mouth just in the last 48 hours or so, or maybe a little bit longer on the gun issue. But this guy is all over the map. How can Democrats really believe that this is the guy who's going to defeat Trump?
I don't even know, because it doesn't make any sense to me, was that Pete Buttigieg was one of the few people I don't like him, but I admitted the fact that he actually had a chance of winning. That has he been the candidate, he's articulate enough, he comes off as a normal enough person. And this is what you got. You get the far one side of Bloomberg, who's just scary, and then you got Biden right next to him. Then you got on the far other side, you've got the Bernie, and you've got Elizabeth Warren, and then here you are, right in the middle, Tulsi, somebody who can combine a little bit of constitutional knowledge and a little bit of that progressiveness. And, you like her or not, she is their best candidate who doesn't represent an extreme side, and they're just it's like she's not even in the race.
How far will the Democrat Party go to undermining Bernie? Because they did it back in 2016, right? When he was running against Hillary. Okay, so they rigged the primary against him. What will they do you think, to try and undermine him this time around?
I would suspect that if he were to actually get enough delegates to be the winner of the primary, they'll probably do the brokers' convention.
And who will be the candidate then? If that happens, will they rely on a surprise like a Michelle Obama? She keeps coming out and saying she's not interested, but then Hillary is still being coy, right? Saying, one day saying, well, no, but then then telling people that she won last time. It's just bizarre statements. Who do you think might come out of the wings here and say, okay, I'm going to do this for the Democrats?
If it was to be a brokers' convention, I assume they would have to go with somebody who actually was running, and it would probably have to be one of the last 10 people, and it probably would be Buttigieg or Biden at that case. Bloomberg's definitely done a lot to buy off the party, but he's kind of bought off he bought off a lot of the Hillary Clinton types from the party. Especially here in Wisconsin, we see like our former state chair of the Democratic Party, Mike Tate's now working for the Bloomberg campaign. That guy from the marijuana organization, which that was kind of strange. He's been able to buy off a lot of people because he's throwing so much money. Literally paying like $6,000 a month for low-level staffers. But I don't think Bloomberg can actually buy the nomination in the end.
Yeah, especially since he got clobbered so badly. Elizabeth Warren just carved him up like a Christmas turkey. Look,
Warren, I wonder if she's going to become Bernie's VP candidate after tomorrow, because Bernie said he's going to announce her. He's saying that he's going to announce some woman tomorrow as his candidate. So it's either going to be Warren or maybe Tulsi or, God forbid, AOC.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Why, that would be the ultimate circus. I'm almost rooting for that just because it would be so entertaining. Listen, I know you got to run. We really appreciate this, as always, Miles.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Miles Kristen is with Wisconsin International Radio.